So let me, is that better?
Perfect.
Okay. So thank you, Mark. As most of you know, because we are blessed to have the Arizona region as the host region for the Treffen Scottsdale. And I am currently serving as the Treffen North America chair for all Treffens. Dolores and I have been to all of the Treffens since Tahoe in the fall of 17. We do 2 a year. And the last several Treffens have sold out in less than 15 minutes. The record was Treffen Woodstock, which sold out in 8 minutes, 140 cars. Treffen Greenbrier last September sold out in 13 minutes. And after a registration, I get a number of emails from very disappointed, some mad, some frustrated members who say that they were right in the middle of registering and the event sold out or tours sold out, and they're quite upset. And so I put this together to try to give some information as to how you can better prepare to be successful. So that's what this is about. So I'll see if I can, here we go. So the Treffen website is at treffen.pca.org. You can go there now. You'll see all the information about Treffen Scottsdale. We strongly suggest that you go through the list of driving tours that are offered and the lunches and pick out those that you want to do on Thursday and on Friday, and also have a backup tour for each day just in case. Some of these tours will sell out in less than literally 2 minutes. And the reason for that is each tour has a maximum of 22 cars from our guests, 22 because we have 3 cars on the tour drive team. So the first 22 people who want to go to Sedona, they may take that tour, and by the time you get there a minute and a half in, the tour is gone. So have a backup. Know what Navigator Day Off activity, that it will be on Friday. There will be no lead tours on Friday. We will offer some events where we'll put you on a chartered bus and take you to something in the Scottsdale, Phoenix Valley area. And it will include lunch. And sometimes, well, all the time, those are very nice things. You have to remember that the vast majority of people who are coming to this event are not from Arizona or from the Valley. They're from literally all over the country and Canada. For either of the driving tour selection or the NDO activities, if you do not, thank you, if you do not want to do an event, you must click the none of the above button. So don't just screen past the tour page, try to get to the next page, because it'll kick you out if you haven't clicked that none of the above. Make sure that you've read the frequently asked question page at the, it's on the website. I gave this presentation last night to Southern Arizona region, and I mentioned that the one issue that is of great importance right now is that with regards to if you should cancel after registering. And the way it works is if you register on February 24th and on March 1st or March 30th, whatever, more than 30 days out from the event, if you decide you want to cancel, we will refund all of your money except $100 will be kept back. If you cancel after 30 days out from the event, which would be what, around April 5th or so, there are no refunds. Now, I will tell you that the PCA EC changed that policy for Treffen Greenbrier, and frankly, because of COVID. And if anybody canceled right up literally 24 hours before the event started, we gave them all of their money back. Those are extraordinary times, but I also advised the EC when that happened that that was going to result in a significant and material impact on the program. We had 30 people cancel, and we would have had $100 per person or $3,000, and that was $3,000 that was not in the budget. But the EC made that decision, and we executed it. Know what size polo shirt you want beforehand. And this time we are going to give polo shirts because they're short sleeve. They're very nice. I think, I can't tell, Rook, do you have on a polo tonight? Looks like you might.
I do, but it's a generic Porsche polo.
Oh, well, never mind. But know what size you want, and know what size, and we're going to talk about it in a second. If you have a significant other that's coming, know what size theirs is. If you have any food allergies, be prepared to make note of those. If you have a significant event coming to the event, a significant other, you must register them at the same time as you register for the Treffen. So there will be an opportunity for you to register your significant other. The problem is that some people think that they will scream through the registration process and then call us up the next day saying, oh, gee, I forgot to register my wife or my girlfriend or my boyfriend, whatever, and I need to register them. And the problem is that, yeah, we'll probably get them registered if we haven't sold out, if we have enough room, and two, but you most likely will not get on the tours that you wanted to go because the tours will be sold out. So we strongly recommend that you get your significant other registered at the same time that you're doing yours. Have your credit card out, be ready to quickly reference it. So on February 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, February 24th, Wednesday. So that'll be 1 p.m. Arizona time. The Treffen registration page will open for taking registrations. Make sure that you are logged into your PCA member account. Many of us, I know me, hardly ever go and log in to my PCA member account. So we strongly recommend that you have practiced and that you are in your account, that your password worked, and that it says up in the corner there that it'll say hello, Harry or Mark or whatever. And so you know that you're logged in. Go to the Treffen page and then click on registration. And a minute or so or 30 seconds before, whatever, and you'll see a page that looks like this. Now, of course, at that time on February 24th, it's going to show 0 days, 0 hours, maybe 1 minute, and some number of seconds, and you'll see it counting down. It's a live countdown, and you'll see it counting down. When it hits 0, refresh your page again, and it should open up for registration. Now, I will tell you, I have been on the parade website when they tell us they're going to open up at noon or something, and I go to register, and it's 2 minutes or something before I get in. So just keep refreshing your page, and it will eventually open up, and you can start your registration process. So we talked about that. Now, at this point, you want to quickly and carefully follow the steps for registration. So here are some common mistakes that require additional time and may end up with you not getting in. Improperly entered credit card info. We've had people who transposed a couple of numbers on their credit card, and when it goes through the PCA system for verification, it kicks it out as an unverified card, and by the time they get back in and they get it corrected, the event is sold out. So again, be careful, be quick, but be careful. You may put in the wrong zip code for your card. So any delay in the process, not sure what driving tour you want to go on, or NDO or whatever, or maybe you want to call up your friends and say, hey, let's do this tour on this day. Trust me, by the time you get off the phone with them, it's going to be sold out. So talk to your friends well beforehand, have a plan, and be ready to execute. Make sure you fill in all of the buttons. Like I said before, on if you decide you don't want to do an NDO activity, just make sure you click the none of the above button, or yeah, be quick, but be accurate. So as soon as you have submitted all of your information at the bottom of the form, you should receive an email confirming your reservation, your Treffen registration was successful. And that email should come to you within a minute or so. It's relatively quick. That email will provide information on how to contact the hotel to make your room reservations. So and we ask that you do not contact the hotel before receiving that Treffen confirmation. I'm not sure exactly how we're doing it at the Camelback Resort. It may be a web link that takes you to a special place to reserve your room for Treffen. It may be a phone number. We've had that in the past, but it will provide you directions on how to reserve your room. I can assure you that the hotel has been contractually advised that they are not to accept any reservations at the PCA discounted rate until February 24th, 3 p.m. And coming through the registration system that will be provided in that confirmation Treffen registration email. Now, I will tell you, we have had people call the hotel. I was told, I think at one of them that, I think it was Woodstock, that somebody called the hotel and told them that Harry Season said that they could call 2 weeks before and get a room reservation. And we monitor our block of rooms, and we know who has made those at the PCA discounted rate. And if it's done before 3 p.m. on Wednesday the 24th, we advise the hotel that they have improperly made that reservation, and then they are required to call that person who made the reservation, and it is canceled. So the plan here is get registered for the Treffen event, and then you can make it. If you do not receive an email confirmation of registration for Treffen, you are not registered. So make sure that your email address, that's another thing, when you go into your PCA account a week before, make sure that all of your information is up to date. Your address, your email, your phone number, all of that is up to date, because that's where the Treffen registration confirmation will be sent to. And, you know, and sometimes, I don't think this has happened that it goes into a junk file, but you know, it's always good when we're doing things like this, within a minute or two, you can check in there. There are plenty of rooms at the hotel. That's not an issue. The issue is getting into the Treffen. There's plenty of rooms at the hotel, so you don't have to rush to make the hotel reservation. But if you don't get that email, you didn't get in. As I mentioned, the last 3 have sold out less than 15. At Treffen Greenbrier, we had over 70 cars on the wait list. So if you were unsuccessful, it does give you the option of adding your name to the wait list, and we strongly recommend that you do that. We will have, as I said, at Greenbrier, we had 30 people who canceled out, and we go to our wait list to start adding people who may still want to go. So that's where we immediately go to. So, and those are done basically first come, first served. If you're the first one that didn't get in, but you're the first one on the wait list, frankly, your chances of getting into the event are pretty good, because we know, based on experience, we will have some number of people who will cancel for whatever reason. They've become known as a PCA's bucket list item to go to now, featuring spectacular resorts, great drives, great food, You know, and I talked about this last night, that after the last 4, I think, or 5 Treffens that we've done, I've had to call Tom Gorsuch and say, I have good news. We sold out the Treffen in 15 minutes. I have bad news. A lot of people are mad that they didn't get in. And Tom Gorsuch, who is the PCA president, will say, Harry, that's a good problem to have. And that's the way, frankly, we want to keep this event. Parade, everybody who wants to go can go. But Treffens, we're trying to maintain this extremely high level of quality, exclusivity, and you know, everybody's on an even keel. We do not pre-register anybody else. There's going to be about 140 rooms. So, you know, everybody's basically on an even keel here. And there are people who have been to every one, so they are successful in knowing how to get registered and being prepared. As you know, there are no competitive events except maybe how many new friends you may make. The emphasis of these events is on the very highest quality social activities. And this one will be interesting because it's the first one we've done during the summer, or not during the summer, but well, for most people, it'll be during the summer, being in Scottsdale in May. So it'll be warm. We're really looking forward to some activities on the terrace and whatever. It should be absolutely beautiful there at that time of year. Let me see, that might be my last slide. Yes, that's my last slide, so you can take it back, Mark.
Okay, just one other thing. Did anyone have any questions for Harry before we?
Oh yeah, any questions?
You got off easy.
I got off easy. And again, I wanted to express my appreciation to the Arizona region. You guys, under the leadership of Brooke and Deb Younger, have done an outstanding job in getting us prepared for this. I have to report to Cindy Jackson, the executive VP, who I report to, and we had a meeting there in Scottsdale in mid-January, and I wrote up a short activity of what we did, and advised her that everything is well on the way. The region is doing a great job. We've got some great drives lined up. Somebody asked last night, I'll just mention it now, with regards to COVID. And what we know today is that the hotel is legally permitted to execute an event like this as long as they abide by the state's guidelines with regards to health and safety in a COVID environment. That will include things like social distancing, wearing masks inside the facility at all times, except eating or drinking. We will be socially distanced at our banquets. The tables normally set for 12 people will be set for 6. The tables may be 6 feet apart. Normally will be more than that. And so we're going, I know on, I think the Saturday night dinner, we're in a conference room that it's a huge, massive conference room. And the only bad part about it is it's like everybody, you're kind of waving at them across the room. It's not going to be very close, but those are the requirements that we have to go by now. And that's what we're going to do. We did that successfully at the Greenbrier. There were no incidents of COVID sicknesses at the Greenbrier. And we expect to do that here. We'll have up during registration, we'll have up plastic guards. We'll have them up at the info desk. We'll have hand sanitizers that PCA is bringing. So we're trying to do everything we can to make this as safe and healthful event as we possibly can. Now, having said that, the EC, Executive Council of PCA, will continue to monitor frankly, the virus situation in Arizona. And as we all know, Arizona's kind of at the top of the list today for the number of cases. And we'll continue to monitor that. My hope is, frankly, that we are starting to see the numbers go down. We are starting to get people vaccinated. And I think I mentioned last night that the people being vaccinated, for a large part, make up the demographics of a Treffen. The Treffens are relatively older folks, older PCA members, and interesting, driving newer cars. So most of our cars will be 5 years or less old. And I think with the vaccinations going basically to the PCA Treffen demographic, we should be in good shape. So we're hoping for a great event. That's all I had, Mark. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thanks again.
So a question. So do you need any volunteers at all for this event?
You would
I'm
need
gonna
to.
let Rook answer that.
Yeah, Rook is the guy. Rook, do you want to say a piece there or wait till next? Well, you're up next anyway.
Yeah, and Mark, I just have a few things, so I don't really need to share my screen. So I will talk about volunteers unless there are any other questions for Harry.
Mark, have you taken back the screen?
I have now.
There we go.
I have
Okay,
now.
thank you, sir. Okay, so hearing no more questions, I'll turn it over to Rook or whoever Mark's next person is.
Yes, Rook is next up, but hang on here for a second. Well, we got to go back. Rook is next up. You don't need your screen shared, Rook?
No, I just have a few things. Most of what I had on slides, Harry really has covered. So I'll just talk about a few things. Okay, in case you're not aware, the dates for Treffen next May, Wednesday, May 5th through Saturday, May 8th at the JW Marriott Scottsdale Camelback Inn Resort and Spa, limited, twice removed, whatever. We just call it the Camelback Inn. Beautiful, iconic place, very southwest, an iconic, long time, very high level resort, just north of Camelback Mountain. So a great place to host the event, and I'm very pleased that that is where the event will be held. The focus of Treffen really is socials and driving tours. So if you're expecting a concours, an autocross, those kinds of things, those are not part of Treffen. Treffen has great social gatherings, and then we will have 6 driving tours. We'll have 3 in the valley. That will be Bartlett Lake, Fountain Hills, South Mountain, and Wrigley Mansion. We'll have 3 that go up north, Sedona, Prescott, and Cottonwood via Jerome. So 6 tours. They're going to be great tours. Most of these we've either done before or they're variations of what we've done before, and we will do them again. So, you know, for those people that try to sign up, aren't able to sign up, and you're in our region, these are going to come up again. So don't get too disappointed. As far as volunteers, my volunteers list is set. There are a few that are still maybe set, but not absolutely verified. And with months to go, inevitably, there will be some people that have indicated they will fill a certain responsibility as far as volunteer, and they will find that they cannot fill that. So we will need some backups, but I don't need a general volunteer plea, if you will. So if you are interested in volunteering, you can send me an email, rook.younger@cox.net, or my email address is on the website under the list of the board members. And I will put you on a list should we need to fill some of those slots. So I've had people talking to me for over a year when this event was offered to our region, and so I haven't needed to actually ask for more volunteers. So so that's where we stand on that. I encourage you, if you want to come out and join, Camelback Inn is a great place to stay. It's not an inexpensive event, but well worth the experience. And I would encourage you to sign up if you're interested. So any questions for me?
Mark, I had one other comment. And that is that we've been asked, and I want to make sure that all of your members know, can I register for the Treffen and not stay at the hotel? I live in the valley and I just want to stay at my house each night. Well, the answer to that question is obviously yes, you can do that. However, please be aware that PCA has signed a contract with the hotel for a minimum number of room nights. And as we fill up with Treffen registrations, the expectation is that people will stay at the hotel in order to help us meet the minimum room requirements as in the contract. If we don't meet those minimum room requirements, we may sell out the hotel, and for whatever reason, 50 people decide they're not going to stay at the hotel, the PCA will be severely monetarily penalized. So number one, we think it's a good thing, please, to stay at the hotel. But number two, and perhaps more importantly, as we've mentioned before, a large part of this event is the whole social activity and meeting new friends and coming back from a drive and having dinner and talking about your drive, talking about PCA, talking about your new car. Those are all the kind of things we do there. At night, after dinner, we're going to have a thing called the KEF Lounge. KEF is a very high-end speaker system that is a big sponsor of the PCA, and they send out some speakers, and then we have some people with some iPods and with lots of neat music on them. And from about 8 to 11, we'll have the KEF Lounge going, another place to catch a nice drink and talk to your friends, and just a lot of fun. So those are the kind of activities going on at the hotel, starting at breakfast in the morning all the way through the day and into the evening. And we strongly suggest that you please stay at the hotel. That's it for me.
Okay, well, thank you, Harry, again, and thank you, Rook. And let me go back to my screen here for a second.